Okay. Let's see what we got. Let's see if sound's working. Sound check. Let's see if sound's working. Yep, sound is working. Bingo. Right, set time for 2 hours. See how far we get in 2 hours. Get timer 2 hours on the clock. Let's go. So we were in the middle of we're in the middle of I say in the middle, not in the middle, but we're in I guess we're in the middle of this one. Yeah, we were chapter 2 of the build a static site generator in Python. So we're into chapter 2 of nodes and less than 3 HTML node. I think at the end of the day, we were just running tests and then finding that things weren't quite working out. So let's get into development, Boot.dev, Python static generator. Just remember ourselves what we got in here. So I guess we run the tests. Yeah, that was it. So before the end of the day yesterday, sort of realized, you know what, we might want to we passed our tests here, but before we got into the next bit, into leaf node lesson 4, we wanted to make sure that everything would sort of like behave, because we passed the test, but we had a look at the extended examples from the course, and there was just more examples in there and stuff that ours weren't passing on. So like you can see here, and we can basically get those passing now, so that we're going to the next phase. It's not going to be as painful. So 2 failures, one on does it say which failed test to HTML props. If I go back to and we need a separate thing for this really now. So okay, so running the test there. Which test failed? It was test HTML to props and test to wrapper. So let's go back to that, and we'll do n. What files are going to be? Test HTML to props, test HTML node. So source HTML node. So something about this is not quite loving it. So the test to HTML props, we assert assertion error, class screen, blah 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 blah. Line 14 in Just realised where my line number's gone. It's fine. Props to HTML. Was that the one I added, or? What's the problem? Just a space difference. So I delete that. One failure. Okay, so I think in our example we're not handling the thing of none. So HTML node. Children none. Is there something in the step about that? Hold on, go back. There's not really anything there about it. Oh, and the comma missing's right. All passed, right? Okay, cool. Right, now we can start leaf node. Let's see if we can get to chapter 4 tonight. And do some good, depending on how tricky things get. Yeah. Anyway, so leaf node. Time to render some HTML strings. If that's 4 again. So that's that's what we're doing. Whoops. The last one was lesson H3, so finishing tests for chapter 2 to L3. Okay. So time to render some HTML strings. So a leaf node is a type of HTML node that represents a single HTML tag with no children. For example, a simple P tag with some text inside of it. We call it a leaf node because it is a leaf in the tree of HTML nodes. It's a node with no children. In this example, P is not a leaf node, but B is. Assignment. Create a child class of HTML node called leaf node. Its constructor should differ slightly from the HTML node class because it should not allow for any children. The value data member should be required, and the value data member should be required, and tag even though the tag's value may be none. Create a child class of HTML node. Use the super function to call the constructor of the HTML node class. Add a .toHTML method that renders a leaf node as a HTML string by returning a string. If the node has no value, it should raise a value error. All leaf nodes must have a value. If there is no tag, e.g. it's none, the value should be turned as raw text. Otherwise, it should be rendered as render an HTML tag. For example, these leaf nodes. These leaf nodes. Add some tests. Here's when to get you started. Okay, so assignment: create a child class of HTML node called leaf node. So I'm going to add a new thing. So quit. So I guess source leaf node.py. And I guess we're going to do from HTML node import HTML node, and then we're going to have class. What was it again? Class leaf node. It's going to have init with now I've forgotten how you make things a child class. I think it's like, do you put it in the brackets like that, like HTML node like that, I think. And I just forgot the basic thing of Python: define init. Its constructor should differ slightly from HTML. Should not allow it for any children. The value data member should be required and tag even though the tag's value may be none. Okay, so I guess just for, well, actually, self, what we're saying, value tag maybe. So value and tag. Let me just cat the HTML node. So self tag, what we're saying that the value data member should be required and tag even though its tag value may be none. So tag value. Need to swap those around really. I think this is right syntax for a subclass, but I'll just do it anyway. So self dot tag equals tag, and self dot value equals value. I've forgotten the subclass, how subclass works. Super. Okay. Python Python child class. I mean, with that, do we even need to? Yeah, use the super function to call the constructor of the HTML node class. So I think I've done that. If a leaf node has no value, it should raise a value error. All leaf nodes must have a value. So do we put that in the constructor? I guess so. What was it? So if leaf node has no value, so if value is equal to none, then raise, what was it? Value error. Value error. Like that. I think if there is no tag, each none, the value should be returned as raw text. Otherwise, it should render an HTML tag. For example, these leaf nodes. Right. Add some tests. Here's one to get you started. So let's just see what we've got here and just see if we can use it. So node source, and then was it test underscore yeah, so we can do node source node vim. It's called leaf node.py. Up these bits. So this is going to be test leaf node. Leaf node. I'm going to change that to leaf node. And then I guess we can run. Six says pass, one errored. So most recent call. Failed to import the test module test leaf node. What did I do wrong with that? Test leaf node. Leaf node. Put it wrong. Unit test case. Test leaf to HTML self. this node to HTML. What's wrong with that? Main test path, so self.get module name from name. Where's it stemming from? So leaf node, line 1 from okay. So cannot import HTML node from HTML node. Oh, hold on. I know. So then source leaf node. It's not like that, it's all caps. Still failed, but for a different reason now, that's fine. Trace callback, traceback file, so assert node to node.to.html. Raise not implemented error. Okay, so that's just because we don't have it. Don't have it implemented. So what does it look like? Source HTML node to HTML. Okay, so this is what it's saying to add to HTML. Right, okay, right. Now I get it. Okay, I'd kind of jumped ahead a little bit. Right. Okay, so this isn't quite right for what we want. So define. Whoops, that is not what I wanted. Define, and what was it? To underscore HTML. If the leaf node has no value, so you need self. So if self.value is equal to none. Whoops, sorry, forget the colon. Arrays the value error. Oh no. I don't know how to undo. Define, what was it? To underscore HTML. Self. If the leaf node has some value, then it should raise a value error. All leaf nodes with a thingy. If there is no tag, it's none, then the value should be returned as raw text. No tag, it should be run as raw text. Okay. So then if self.tag is equal to none, then value should be returned as raw text. So return value. Well, I'll just do that for now, just see what it does. Otherwise, it should remember the HTML tag, for example, these leaf nodes. Okay. Otherwise, return tag. Let me run that again. Still failed, but we're getting closer. Tag is not defined immediate self.tag. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Still failed, but we got through all the code, so the code is working as necessary. So in line 8, in test leaf to HTMLP, self-assert equals that assertion error P is not equal to p.hello world. So what is failing in our thing? So it's not raising a value error, so that's fine. Leaf node P. In other words, it should render a HTML tag. So we got something to render HTML tag in one of the other things. Source HTML node. Text node. Props to HTML. So how do it and tag, even though tag value may be none? Are we supposed to just wrap it around? Okay, I thought there maybe might be a function that'll kind of we've implemented that'll do it for us, but maybe we just need to do it. So don't know how to copy and paste yet. So it's going to be let's get the bones of it. So it's going to be like that, and it's going to be self.tag. Whoops, what did I do there? And then same again, self.tag, and then here it's going to be self.value. Return that. Almost. I put the thing on the wrong side. Right, the all pass is our, well, let's say the all pass. One passes. Why have I got the browser extension open? Get out of there. Anyway, so let's run this and see if we pass the thing. Go back here. Run this. Whoops. They all pass. Awesome. But let's have a look at the solution file so we can add more test cases if they've got more. They kept it in the same thing. So they made leaf node in the same. Right, okay. Yeah, okay, so okay, we've not got that, so we're probably going to fail on that part. And we didn't implement repr, but did we need to? Didn't say. I suppose we probably ought to. Yeah, so what did I do? It's also raise value error. I didn't put an error message in it. And I forgot to I did pretty much everything else. I just forgot to. Right, okay, when it's making a child class, you've got to fulfill its other props and just put none. And none for that as well. Okay, right, remember that. Raise value, so I did that. I guess is, they keep using is a lot. Maybe I should use that instead of equals. And they actually put a thing invalid HTML no value. Yeah, so it was a bit more thorough. I'm just going to take theirs only because we passed it. Everything worked. Everything worked, but we don't want to run into problems like later on with just you know. In fact, hold on. Quit. How do I just quit? Hold on. Quit. Oh, how do I just get out of it without nvim quit without saving? Oh, wrong way around. Q then, exclamation mark, right. Q, exclamation mark. Oh no, lazy gets not installed. So this is my attempt on what lesson was it? Lesson 4. Okay. Chapter 2. Chapter 2. What was it called? Chapter 2. Oops. Nodes. Lesson 4. Leaf node passed. So now we will copycat this, just for better going into the future. And then I guess for the tests, like let's add the test coverage that they had, just to make sure that everything's working as expected. So they added into here. We just run it again, just make sure. Okay. Where's the problem? Leaf node. One error. Self.props.items non-type object has no attribute of type of items. All right, hold on. HTML node. Three failures. Extra space in things. Test the HTML. Alright, so things have got extra space now. Hold on. One failure, so test the HTML. Right, okay. I gotcha. So the actual test is wrong. It's a test HTML node. And one of these tests was not right. So that. All done. Is that? So git status, git diff. Yep, so git add all. Past and running, but using solution versions, so that later tests all cascade. Well, that's my excuse anyway. Okay, awesome. So we did that, so on to the next bit. Lesson 5. Parent node. Okay. How's everyone doing out there in the live streams? Having fun? Is it as fun watching me suffer through this as it is to be a part of it? Give us a little wave in the chat if you're having fun out there. If you're chilling, have a good night. Let us know what you're up to. Fun, nice to have you here. Thanks for joining. So parent node, I heard you like recursion. Types of headaches, migraine, hypertension, stress, and recursion. Our new parent node class will handle the nesting of HTML nodes nodes inside one another. Any HTML node that's not leaf node, i.e. it has children, is a parent node. Okay, read that again. So our new parent node class will handle the nesting of HTML nodes inside of one another. Any HTML that is not leaf node, it has children, is a parent node. Assignment. Create another child class of HTML node called parent node. Its constructor should differ from HTML node in that the tag and children arguments are not optional. It doesn't take a value argument. Props is optional. It's the exact opposite of the leaf node class. Okay. I made a new file last time, so I think for now I'll just do the same. So let's have a look at what source leaf node looks like. I must get better command line too. It's like, how do I copy stuff like without doing this? Like basically just copy the contents of the file and make something new. So I'm just gonna make a new source. What's it called? Parent node. So parent node.py. Then insert. And another child class of HTML node called parent node. Its construction should be different, okay? So it says tag and children arguments are not optional. Tag and children. So tag and children. Tag and children are optional. It doesn't take a value argument. Value. Tagging children are not optional. That's fine. Doesn't take value props, and props is optional. Oops. None. So I think that's right. Tag children and props are not optional. It's not the exact opposite, but tag children are required. Okay. And then added to HTML method. If the object doesn't have a tag, raise a value error. So it doesn't have a tag. Tag, raise a value error. And what is it? So it's invalid. Is it invalid HTML? Suppose invalid HTML, no tag. And then if children is missing value, raise an value error with a different message. So if target children is none, return. So we want to raise a different error of raise value error. And this one is invalid. Oops, invalid. Children, no children given. Otherwise, return a string representing the HTML tag of the node and its children. This should be a recursive method. Each recursion being called on a nested child node. I iterated over all the children and called 2 HTML on each, concatenating the results and injecting them between the opening and closing tags of the parent. For example, this node and its children. So parent node P. Right, okay, got your node HTML, should convert to that. Don't worry about indentation or pretty printing. If pretty printed, it would look like this. Most editors are easily configured to auto format HTML and save, so we don't worry about implementing that in our code. I wrote many tests for this class. I recommend you do the same. There is a lot of room for error. Test all the edge cases you can think of, including nesting parent node, objects inside one another, multiple children, and no children. Here's a couple to get you started. Okay. So we'll come back to this in a second, the recursive part, because at the minute it's not going to do anything. So it's going to be we're inside parent node. We have to change this. Parent node. Parent node. Self. Tag self. Children. Self props. And yeah, okay. So I'll make a new test file for now. Whoops. So quit that, and then neovim send source test underscore parents node.py, and then insert, and then paste that. And because I'm lazy, let's get the stuff from the other one. So source test leaf node. Copy that. Let's get the thing again. That. I'm a bit lazy, so let's just copy that. I'm going to be triggering so many people with the way I'm using NeoVim at the minute, but we will get there eventually. Indentation is kind of annoying. I imagine if like more than that was thinking about. So if we're in the tests, we get 2 failed ones. Yeah, because parent node is not defined. Hold on. Whoops. So parent node, parents. Whoops. Parents node. Oh, we need both actually in here. Parents node from leaf node import leaf node. So it's going to be test parent node. And again, still 2 failures, but probably for the right reasons. So let's have a look at the test. So the first test, child node is a span with child inside it. Parent node is div and takes the array of those. Yeah, so parent node to HTML. So let's just solve for this one first. And hold on, so cat source test. What we're doing now, parent node. Okay, so get an idea what it looks like. Right, quit. New vim source parent node. So it's this part. So we're going to have to do something around this. Okie doke. So what do? So we need to add a toHTML method. If the object doesn't have a tag raise value error, if the children is missing a value, raise a value error of a different message. Otherwise, return a string representing the HTML tag of the node and its children. This should be a recursive method, each recursion being called on a nested child node. I iterated over all the children and called toHTML, and each concatenate results in injecting them between the opening and closing tags of the parent. Okay. So okay. I'm just going to go on my gut feel for a minute. So I'm going to have like open and closing tag. So it's going to be, we do this a little different. It's going to be, I guess, opening tag equals this. Closing, it's got a tag equals this, f string, and let's give it a little bit of space here. So we need to do a recursive loop on the children, tag of the node and its children. I iterate over all the children called toHTML and each concatenate results injecting. Okay, I would have a things like children strings equals and give it an array, and then I would do for child in children. We're going to do this. So I guess children dot strings dot strings dot append there, append child dot to underscore HTML. That let's see what that does. I know it's not really recursive and stuff, but we'll just try it. So we'll return opening, it's got tag plus equals children, it's got strings, it's going to be like join it, so dot join like that, join strings, something like that. Might be getting my things wrong. Closing tag, something like that. Whoops. Whoops. Simple mistake again. So it's so different not having too many things to sort of handhold you, like in VS Code. 2 failed errors. Children is not defined. Do you mean? Wait, hold on. That just passed first time. What? Kind of suspicious. Clear that. Do that again. Then run. Okay. Okay. Apparently it's just done that. Am I a big brain? Submit. Right. I think we did it. Let's have a look at the solution files. I'm kind of surprised. Like, if I've kind of just nailed it off of the bat, got a feeling I've probably not covered a lot of edge cases. Okay, so we set this up like that, like that, like that. Yeah. Put something to HTML. Oh no, I guess yeah. I wouldn't say it's recursive, really, is it? What's recursive about it? So child.html, leave node to HTML. It's not really recursive, it's just a loop, right? Where's the recursive part coming to it? It's HTML if blah 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 blah. It's not really not really recursive, it's just a loop. They just did it in one string, so props to them. Yeah. Let's take some of their tests. I didn't really add any tests. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, it's comparing mine against theirs. Ah, interesting. Is it? No. Modified. So let's take some of their tests. So we'll say right, quit, get status, whoops, status, get add all, get commit. So this is chapter 2, chapter 2 nodes. Chapter 2 nodes. 2 nodes. I guess what's it? Lesson 5 parent node. Lesson L5 parent node. Passed. And I guess if we want to actually we don't need to change that, do we? Just want the test for the parent node. Test parent node. Let's see what happens if we run the test all again. All pass. Yeah, okay, awesome. Okay, I surprised myself quite a bit. How about you, chat? Are you all surprised that I'm not completely flunking it? I wouldn't be surprised if you were surprised. This is not in my comfort zone in the slightest, so I'm pretty happy with how things are going right now. I'm chilling. Cool. Right, so we're on the last lesson of this chapter, and then we'll be getting onto inline, blocks, and then website. So maybe in an hour, depending how big inline is, we might get through that. Blocks and the website might come next week or down the line, just depending on time. So text node to HTML node. So we need a way to convert text node to a HTML node, specifically a leaf node. Hassan, write a function. In which one? We need a way to convert text node to HTML node, specifically a leaf node. Text node to HTML node, text node. Where does it want me to put this function? Text node to HTML node. So in the text node in here. Text node to HTML node takes a text node. It should handle each type of the text type enum. If it gets a text node that is none of those types, it should raise an exception. Otherwise, it should return a new leaf node object. Oh, okay, hold on. Quit. Oops. Add some tests. Here's one to get you started. Doesn't say where to add it, so we need to convert text node into HTML node, specifically a leaf node. Write a function. Suppose if we put it in the HTML node class. Well, that's just running it as just a straight up function. This is where maybe putting all those things in two files is by design for it. Get rid of all these. Where am I going to put it? We need a way to convert a text node to a HTML node, specifically a leaf node. I'm going to put it in text node because it just seems to make the most sense. But I'm not going to put it as part of the class. I'm just going to put it as part of package. I'm going to get the test file for that. Test text node.py. That's there. Test text. Text underscore node underscore 2 underscore HTML. Text node to HTML node. Text node to HTML. Whoops. Yeah, that's right. HTML underscore node. Okay, different error, that's fine. Text type has no attribute text. Test node, blah, blah, blah. Text type has no attribute text. What does it have? Text node. Oh. Text type has no attribute text. So there's that problem really before anything else. Do I have to add some more things now? Should handle each type of text type enum. I think they might have missed something out here. So they didn't mention this before. So text equals. Is that supposed to be normal? They've mixed it up between things here. Hold on. I'm just going to tweak it because it's not quite right. Let me update the test. I think this might just be a mistake. This is so normal. Yes, that's fine. So HTML node.tag has no type tag. That's because I haven't really implemented any of it yet. So if we do this, So we're on to the actual kind of development part of this and stuff. So so it should raise if it gets a text node that is none of those. So we need to write the function first. It should handle each type of text type enum. If it gets a text node that is none of those types, it should raise exception. Otherwise, it should return a new leaf node object. Okay, so don't know how to work with enums in TypeScript in Python. So Python enum switch case switch statement match. Should return a leaf node with no tag, just raw text value. Should return a leaf node with a B tag. Okay, pretty sure that we have an example of a a switch statement going on in here somewhere. Source, was it text node? No. Where was it? Text node, HTML node, leaf node, parent node, HTML node, was it? Sure, one of them had like a switch statement for the enum. Text node, already looked at that one. Text node, main or parent node, HTML. Right, let's do this. Okay, so we're going to do, let's just start this. So we need to do a match text score node. So past the text node, should handle each type of the text type enum. So text node. So what's text node going to have on it that we can use? Text node's going to have text node dot it's going to be text underscore type, and then if it's how do you switch again? So like Python match case, Python match case. So I guess match and then case. We just reference it, so normal return, and it's going to be a leaf node, so we're going to have to import the leaf node into here. So from leaf node, import leaf node, and then we're going to do return. Have to put new leaf node, and then camera takes is going to be text. It's got no dot text. Can't really remember, to be honest. Whoops. We cat this source leaf node. What does it take? Tag value and props. tag text underscore node tag value underscore text underscore node dot props. And overall, this function is going to return leaf node with blah 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 blah. And Python, how do you do a match default case? Just do a case with nothing at the end. Okay, makes sense. I'll put that one in. So case, it's got a colon. What do we say? Case. Otherwise, return leaf node object. Raise exception. So raise exception. Oops. Python raise exception. Forgotten how it goes. Exception. Yeah, alright, okay, just box down all of that. And say anything in particular. Invalid text type. So invalid text type. Bad syntax. Guess we don't need the new statement. Normal makes remaining parts unreachable. Reference the enum wrong. It's have to be a text type dot like that. Text node object has no attribute tag. Oh, hold on. This is where we have to. So if it's text type, should return a leaf node with no tag, just raw things. So it's just going to be none. Non. Text node has no attribute value. Text node. Okay, yeah, right, I'm starting again now. So text node, whoops, removed the wrong thing. Text. Leaf node. Look at the leaf node. Takes a tag value and props. Okay. Think I've got that right, so run that. Yeah, it passes. Okay, cool. But it's not going to be enough. We're going to need to put a thingy case for everything. So let's have a look at this then. So what we're going to do. So we're going to say for these ones, I'm going to switch statement for all of them. So I guess case text type dot, and what was it? Text type dot bold, the b tag, bold, return leaf node. That's going to be b, and then text underscore node dot text, and then case text type dot, and what was it? Dot italic that then return leaf node. Come on, type in leaf node. I with text. I tag with text. So yep. I tag with text underscore node text case text type dot, and then what's the next one? Text italics code equals return leaf node. What is it? Code tag and text code text node dot text, and then a link is the first one. It's got a bit of a whoopsie daisy, got a bit of a difference. Case text my typing's way off. Text type dot link, and then return leaf node. What was it? Link. Whoops. A tag. It's going to be text, and it's got text. It's got a node dot text, but then props. It's going to have an href prop. Okay, so it's going to be href like that. In case text type dot image return leaf and what is this? Leaf node image image tag empty string value source attributes props. Source is the image URL, all is the alt text. Okay, so then none. I'm going to get some props. And then what are the props? The props are going to be source and alt props. Source is the image URL and alt is text. So what was it? Source and alt. So source is going to be text underscore node dot URL, and then alt is going to be, I guess, node text underscore node dot text, maybe. Yeah, I think that makes sense. We added that test. If we run this and submit, then we can get the solution files and see if there's any extra tests that we can sort of integrate to check our solution is really working. So yep, they put a whole separate thing. I just added it to itself. They did that. Yeah, I did that. Link href text node URL. Yep, okay, so for this one, whoops. Text node URL. I think that will basically cut it. But let's get these tests in and see like if it covers everything. Value error, invalid text type. Yeah, so they did that one slightly different to me. Let's add some more of those tests because they gave us a test text one. They've adjusted some of these, I think, for some reason, I'm not quite sure why. Yeah, okay, they made a... That's fine, we'll come across that. So I'd take these. I think it's just they modified them as they went along by whoopsies. So let's get the test one. Text. And run it. Yeah, oh, 2 errors, hold on. Oh, right, okay, they have to be in quotes. Whoops, my bad. Bet it's something with like a more built-in ID would have picked up, but it's good to have the rote memory. One failure, one error. Text type has no attribute, text type dot text. It's because I copied that and one failure. Assertion, none is not equal to that. So why is that? The test image self. Let's have a look at that. Test image self. None is not equal to that. Value image. Okay. Quit. Go back to the text node part. So it's probably something to do with this. Is it not, don't pass it none, pass it empty string. There we go. Awesome. So get status where. Yeah, because we passed this lesson now, didn't we? So we passed chapter 2 nodes, lesson 6. So git add all git commit sham. So chapter 2 nodes lesson, is it 6, was it? text node to HTML node. Whoops. Text node to HTML node passed. I guess git push. Huzzah! So we're getting through that. Not bad. Oh, blimey. Regex. Reject inbound. Oh no. Ugh. But we're doing alright so far. I do feel like I need a drink though. So I might do that. Saints warming up over the next few days, and I'm going to be running a marathon on Sunday, so I hope it chills out a little bit and doesn't get too hot. But at the same time, I don't appreciate running in the soggy weather. That's not the best thing to be doing. How you doing out in the chat, y'all? Y'all peeps, how you doing? You having a good time? This is definitely, if I was a beginner coming into this, I would be struggling through this a bit. This is an adequately challenging course to go through, and this project has got a decent amount to it, but it's broken down very well, so that is good about it. So in chapter 3 of this, and there's 6 lessons in here, so I'm just going to grab a quick drink and I'll be back in a minute. Make sure to stay hydrated, folks. Peeps. Make sure to stay hydrated. Okay. Oh, final stretch for tonight. Let's go through the split delimiter. Let's even get through half of this, depending on how crazy the regex is. Gotta love a bit of regex. Right, split delimiter. Now that we can convert text nodes to HTML nodes, we need to be able to create text nodes from raw markdown strings. For example, this string should become, excuse me, text node this, then text node a bold text node, and then a normal text node again. We don't care about nested inline elements. Markdown parsers often support nested inline elements. For example, you can have a bold word inside of italics. For simplicity's sakes, we won't allow it. If you want to extend the project to support multiple levels of nested inline text types, you're welcome to do so at the end of the project. Create a new function. I put this in a new code file. But you can organize your code as you please. Split nodes delimiter. Okay. So if they're going to put in a new one, we might as well. So source, what's this going to be called? Split delimiter. So call it split delimiter. Split delimiter. Okay. And it's saying it takes a list of old nodes, a delimiter, and a text type. It should return a new list of nodes where any text type nodes in the input list are potentially split into multiple nodes based on the syntax. For example, given the following input, node equals text node. This is text with a code block word, type text. New node, split nodes delimiter, give it the node, and then backtick, and then that new node becomes that. The beauty of this function is that it will take care of inline code, block, and italic text all in one. The logic is identical. The limiter and matching text type are the only thing that changes, e.g. double asterisk for bold, underscore for italic, and backtick for code. Also, because it operates on an input list, we can call it multiple times to handle different types of delimiters. The order in which you check for different delimiters matters, which actually simplifies implementation. Okay. And then write a bunch of tests. Be sure to test various types of delimiters. So I will start writing this, and it's going to look like this when you feed it in. Text node, it takes that. Okay. Right, so look what text node looks like again. So text. In fact, let me just cd into the source because I'm always in there. So cat text node to HTML node. So what was the thing I made? Delimiter. Split nodes delimiter. So I guess what we're going to do. So nodes, we're going to have an array class. It's going to be nodes, and we're going to return nodes. Nodes underscore array. nodes underscore array. And then what we're going to do is for okay, I guess for old underscore node in old nodes. We're gonna basically get the text into an array, so we're going to be text split text split equals I've forgotten how you do split now, so it's going to be old underscore node dot, so just split like that, and then we give it the delimiter. And then basically for text in text score split, we're going to I guess nodes underscore array dot append, and then we're going to give it maybe the loop might not be the best. So I guess from text node import text node text node. Text type URL. So we're going to need the text type thing as well. So we're going to need text type. So it was text. So it was going to be text, and then text type. Text type dot, just put normal for now. And that's kind of it. And I guess we're just going to have test underscore split delimiter dot py. Guess quit that, cat another test file. It's like text node. I'm really cheeky and just copy this. There. That's going to be test split delimiter, and then we're going to import from split delimiter import what was it? That. And was it Just take one of those as an example. Because it doesn't give us any test examples, does it? So we can do it with this one. Test. Let me just say test simple. So test simple. Let's go nodes. And then let's just run the test, see what it does. Run test, 1 errors. Split delimiter line 3. No module found, split delimiter. Great. Misspelled something somewhere. Split delim. Oops. No, text. This is the thing again. With this, it needs to be in normal. Okay, same thing. Text node has no attribute split. Yep, so it makes sense, I guess. So text in old node dot. I guess it's like text dot split. Almost. So how do I? It's the best way of doing this. So text split. Nodes array dot append. Text split. It kind of feels like a noddy way to do it, but nodes array append text nodes. That's going to be text underscore split. Kind of feels ugly to do it this way, but like here's what it is. Yank. I don't know. I need to just have a day spent doing Vim because I'm no good. So yank, and then I think if I go into insert like that, do I go paste? Oh yeah, paste. Hey. This is going to be code. That's going to be 1, 2. Kind of ugly this, but they all pass. So run this. See if they've got other test cases in it that I can copy and then like make sure my implementation is kind of covering different cases and whatnot. So have a look what they've done. inline markdown. Okay. Okay, that's, yeah. God, I can tell my brain is not functioning at capacity now. Yeah, they check the text type. So if the text type is not text, then they append it to new nodes that append old node, continue split nodes. Okay, let's have a look at their test that they've got for this. Import split delimiter inline markdown. Import splits nodes delimiter. Okay, that's a lot of tests. Let's take these and get these in. Okay, so what have we got? Git status, git add dash all, git commit dash m. This is going to be, is it chapter 3 inline? So chapter 3 inline, L1 split delimiter. Split delimiter. Okay. So let's get their test files, because that's going to really poke holes in our implementation. From the test, and I guarantee it's not going to pass a lot of them. 6 errors, yep. Okay. Yeah, hold on, this is because of the thing again. Right, hold on, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of Vim magic or something like so. Neo Vim, I guess Vim, match all, find all and replace. Checked all of them. Rejected all of them, but still got the things. So basic find and replace. In Vim, you can find, hold on, like Vim multiple cursors. Is this the thing? Fancy ways. During the commands in Vim, you must be in normal mode. The default mode when starting the editor. Okay, so so it's going to be S GC global. So whoops. This is going to be S text type dot text slash text type dot normal slash G. That do it? Not quite. Replace all credits to the searcher with the G flag. Send S, okay. Okay. So yeah, we got one error for these things, so we have to fix it up. I think this might be the last one for tonight because getting on a little bit and it's a little bit more in depth than I was sort of expecting, so this is going to be difficult to get through all this. Yep, so their code is way better. Yeah, so what they did, checking like the old nodes to split delimiter sections. Okay, so what they did was they had new nodes for old node in nodes. If old node.text type is not equal to text type.text, new nodes.append old node. Okay, so they check that first and then continue. So they just go around the loop again, and then split nodes. So then sections old node.text.split delimiter. That's what I did. And then if the length of sections is not equal to invalid markdown format, formatted section not closed. For I in range, so length of sections, which would be 3 range. So for I in 3, so starting at 0, section 0 equals, if it's empty, just continue. It's divided by 2. And text, okay. Yeah, okay. It's pretty nice. I could have developed more of this myself, but just for time's sake for tonight, let's just move on to the next bit. Okie doke. So get status, get add all. So then taking the more advanced function for moving forward, push. Okay, so we move to the next bit. 5 minutes. Let's have a little look at the regex section, and then I think we'll probably call it tonight. Okay, so lesson 2 on the chapter 3 inline blocks and website. So regex looks like there's going to be some question marks about it. Before we build the next bit, we need to understand a bit about regexes, or regular expressions. Regex for short. It's a programming language agnostic way of searching for patterns in text. They're famous for being hard to read, but occasionally they are the simplest way to solve a problem. Why can't you just be normal? Regex. To get really good at regex, we'd need a full course on the topic. For now, let's just cover the basics in Python. We can use the RE module to work with regex. It has a find all function that will return a list of all the matches in a string. See examples below. So regex for a single word. So import RE text, this text matches equals re.findAll that's interesting, teapot text print matches one array with teapot. Teapot is a regex pattern. The R tells Python to treat the string as a raw string, which means we don't have to use escape sequences for backslashes. Escaping in Python involves using a backslash to ensure special characters are treated as literal characters. The pattern teapot will match any exact occurrences of the word teapot in the input. Regex for phone number. Text this, the phone number, and then we got an re find all regex string, or no, raw string, that's what it means, raw string, backslash digits 3, so any number of 3 digits, then a dash, then any other 3 digits, then dash, and then any 4 digits. Text matches any digit. Curly brackets 3 means exactly 3 of the preceding character. Dash is just a literal dash that we want to match. So that's how it explains that. Regex for text between parentheses. So I have a cat and a dog. Matches re find all. Raw string backslash double open parentheses dot star question mark backslash. Okay, so it finds cat and dog but without the parentheses around them. Backslash parentheses are escape parentheses that we want to match, so these are the things we want to match. It's a special character. The normal parentheses, so the ones that are inside this one and this one, is a capture group, meaning it groups the matched text, allowing us to reference or extract it separately. Capture group, never been good with these. A capturing group groups a subpattern, allowing you to apply a quantifier to the entire group or use disjunctions within it. It memorizes information about the subpattern match so that you can refer back to it later with a back reference or access information through the match results. Okay, pattern and pattern existing. Is available. Apply a quantifier. Okay. Is a capture group, meaning it groups the matched text, allowing us to reference or extract it separately. Dot asterisk question mark matches any number of characters except for line terminators between the parentheses. Regex for emails, multiple capture groups. So my email is lane@example.com. My friend's email is hunter@example.com. Matches re find all, raw string, and then escaped. Parentheses, so one capture group, and then obviously a backslash w, which means match any word, character, alphanumeric characters, plus. And then same for here with a dot, any number with a dot in between, a little at symbol, any with a dot in between. And then, yeah, okay, makes sense. W matches any word character, alphanumeric characters, underscores. Plus means one or more of the preceding character. At is just a literal at symbol that we want to match. Slash dot is a literal dot that we want to match. The dot is a special character in regex, so we have to escape it with a leading backslash. Okay. Which regex will match the following text: first name, last name? Well, these are digits, so these are out. And these are any amount of letters with a dash in between. Even I know that. Let's do another regex. Whoops. What the heck happened there? Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's finish the regex and then we'll have a look what extract links are, and then we'll think it up for the night. It's been quite lengthy. Yeah, we did have just the same thing to read through. Which regex will match the following text? Square brackets, hello world. So it's going to be just any. It's going to be that one, right? Any amount of no, it's not going to be that. It's going to be any amount of characters in the square brackets. Yeah, so square brackets, this capture group. Okay. So extract links. Don't think we'll do this tonight. Feels a bit much. Yep. Extract links. Let's have a look through it and then we'll come back to it next week. Time to extract the links images from our markdown using regex. Regex examples, so you have them handy. Let me see. I've committed everything. Yeah, everything's committed. Cool. Send a list of all the matches in a string. Use regex.com for interactive regex testing. It breaks down each part of the pattern and explains what it does. There are spoilers in the tips section if you don't want to figure out the regex patterns yourself. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll tackle this next time. My brain's not switched on enough now to be able to handle regex into the max. But it's been fun. So, if you've been here with me, thanks for coming down. Thanks for watching. Hope you've gained something out of it. It's a really great course we're going through, so I really enjoyed it so far. And this project has definitely been a bit more challenging in a good way. Mainly, I think the main challenge is just building in Python, which is not something I've done much before. It's still fresh to me, so it's a nice little challenge. But if you've been down, hope you've had fun. Give us a little wave. Good night in the chat. And we'll be back at next week at some point. Not as many nights next week because I'm away, but we will definitely get at least a session in next week. Well, maybe we'll see. Anyway, thanks for coming down. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're coming in from the future, show me where you got that time machine. Have a good night, and